All right, what's good, everybody? It's another Monday night over on Sports Empire Network. So we're here for the Cheap Seats podcast. You can see, just got three of us today. Gene, our fearless leader, is out for the week, but I got you. You know, I'll run things on here again. But before we get into everything, of course, got the crew Brian and Jordan. So Brian, how you doing?
What's good, fellas? Happy Monday.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
laughing at I'm laughing at Freddie's comment, man. And no, what time did the Cowboys play? I mean, none of us are
Yeah.
Cowboys fans, so I don't care about the Cowboys. But man, first of all, before I say how the Giants doing, man? But yeah,
We
man, I'm
already
doing
know.
good, man. It's a good week of another good week of football. Mahomes was basically won the game on his adrenaline. What a crazy game! I thought, um, I thought the way the Chiefs won, like maybe he would have sat down, but no, Mahomes, he didn't sit down, so that's who he is as a player. But yeah, good football. I know we got some basketball, so yeah, let's get to it, man.
Freddie is just
Can't
trolling
wait for the
already.
Bengals to win Sunday. Man, I don't know, Freddie. I don't know if you're a Giants or a Rams fan. I don't. You got to pick either team, man. So. But he don't call me Skip. But all right.
Hey, speaking of Skip, Skip had a rough weekend. I'm sure you all
Oh
saw that.
no.
The whole
He threw
throwing.
he threw the jersey out and he threw both out his jersey in the trash again.
Yeah,
Man, if you're a fan, be a fan. That whole
right.
Jersey stuff, man, whatever. But looking at
Exactly.
it, the Cowboys did exactly what they were supposed to do. They beat the Bucks. They then had to go play a real team and got not necessarily handed to them, but hell, your quarterback did exactly what everybody was saying that he was going to do, which was turn the ball over. It is
Freddie,
what it
you
is.
can't even differentiate then and them. So come on, brother. Come on, brother. I mean, go back to go back to ILA class, man.
Hey,
But anyways, man.
that's even Freddie, man. That's even Freddie.
There we go. There we go.
Well, I mean, just to let anybody who's first time tuning in, Cheap Seats podcast, we kind of take it back to the barbershop, the OG place where the sports debates happened. So necessarily won't be breaking down any games or anything like that. We're just gonna have chill conversations like who would you rather, or who's the best player from this time or something like that, and we're just gonna have some fun with it. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and dive into these topics we have, and also for the chat, just like we did last week when Gene wasn't here. If you want to throw a topic in, and if we have time at the end, we'll definitely pick one and go with it. We're going to use Brett's from last week, and we'll save that one for the end. But we definitely have our four topics for today. So I feel like for this one, let's go ahead and start with Brian on this one. Throw your topic out there.
All right. So my topic stemmed from one of the conversations that we had last week on who would you choose? I mean, I think it was Julio and you had Calvin Johnson. So my topic is gonna spin off of that and just gonna go into any player with doesn't matter the sport. But who is the best player that you've seen that has not won a championship? Now, like I said, you had two good ones that we debated on who would you rather last week.
Mm-hmm.
But the best player that I've seen that did not win a championship is Barry Bonds.
That's a good one.
He to me the most talented baseball player that I've ever seen, from defense, offense. I mean, he was a 50-50, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. And
Mm-hmm.
just for all of that talent and to be that great, he was not enough to push a team or propel a team to win a championship. I don't know how it didn't happen, but man, that is the best player that I've ever seen to never have won a championship.
That's a good one.
I was gonna say that, but I mean, I was gonna go a different route, a different sport. I was gonna go, even though I didn't see him play, but I know he should have won a championship. Was Reggie Miller? Probably.
Mhm.
I mean, let's be real here. Like he was, prolific 3-point shooter. Was 14. He was 14.3 percent. Oh wait. I'm reading his stats on the website, but just knowing that he from like the way his talent. I mean, listen, he put up 8 points in like eight
What's up,
seconds
coach?
Yeah.
against the Knicks. I mean,
Yeah.
and
I will still
I
go
read
on
that.
YouTube and watch that video from time
Yeah,
to time.
I read that he I think during the playoff series he overcame his average, like his regular season numbers in the playoffs. I mean, I have to look at that stat before I where is it at? I just saw it. Over his course of his player.
Reggie was awesome.
Oh yeah. His postseason box plus minus and average are both higher than his regular season mark. So I mean that's saying something. Like where it's like he's doing more plus minus in the playoffs than what he did in the regular season, and he hasn't got a ring. Or
No.
that's. I mean, I know Curry I know Curry beat him in passed him against the Knicks in the all-time 3-point scorer, but Reggie Miller, like you talked about on the other shows, he was probably the next, not MJ, but he had that lethal scoring, ability. So,
Scoring, clutch, everything. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Offensive, yeah, you got to give Reggie
that dude Jordan did keep him
due.
from winning as well. Yeah, definitely. His Pacers team, one of those years of Jordan's championship years, they were probably the best contender that Jordan faced in, plenty of years. I think that was the Larry Bird coach team.
Yeah.
Which, that kind of says a lot about Larry Bird, too, because Larry Bird was a really good coach. He just didn't do it for long. But those Indiana teams with him, Smiths, you had like Travis Best, you got Jalen Rose thrown in there.
You got Mark Jackson backing people down from half court.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could have seen him play, but I mean, just knowing that just looking at doing research on him and doing my watching clips and stuff, like he was him. Like, and the fact that he hasn't had a ring to back it up, it's kind of like unfortunate, but yeah, definitely deserves a Hall of Fame.
He stayed in a smaller market.
Yeah,
there could have been.
It's kind of like back to right. It's kind of like back to Brian's point. Like Barry Bonds was probably the best player on that team, just like Reggie Miller was probably the best team on the Pacers on that. I mean, I know you got Jalen Rose and other players, but he was like the prolific, player on that team.
He was still it.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me,
Kyle, who you got? Yeah,
I might want to throw Randy Moss. And I'm only saying him because if you look at it, he had the heartbreak of that Vikings team that, let's be honest, they were better than the Falcons that year, and they probably win that Super Bowl. So he gets that close. Then he gets on the perfection Patriots team, and they lose in the Super Bowl. And I mean, both of those teams, you look at it, probably should have won a ring. And Randy Moss was dominant for much of his career, no matter it was Brady throwing to him, Culpepper, anybody, Hold on, let me get Brett in here real quick. So, Brett, we're just talking about best player to never win a championship.
Dan Marino.
Another name I was thinking about, Dan Marino.
And see, well, y'all ain't caught the other one that I had, but it's on football, and that's Barry Sanders.
Oh yeah,
there's a few of them. There's a few.
Patrick Ewing, you can't go wrong with any of them.
See, Patrick,
but he was still a dominant big. But on a crappy team.
But that's why I said one of the best players you've ever seen. Yeah, Patrick Ewing was good, but I'm not gonna put Patrick Ewing on the level of a Barry Bonds or even a Barry Sanders for that. But Patrick was an awesome player. He should have, them Knicks.
He should have had at least one.
They were good enough to win one, but I wouldn't put necessarily there.
But yeah, back to Kyle's point. I mean, I was like Randy Moss. He was like the Calvin Johnson before Calvin Johnson was even in the league. Like mossing people, catching people. Like I mean, he was basically, Megatron before Megatron was in the league. So yeah, that's kind of like crazy how I thought he had a 1 ring at least, but that's crazy, man.
I mean, I immediately thought about him because, like I said, that Vikings team was just built to win it that year.
Yep.
And because of Morton or Gary Anderson, or was it Morton Anderson? It was one of the Anderson. Gary, yeah. Because he missed, field goal or something that really hurt him. And then, like I said, the Patriots one, we know. The Giants were just hot that year. Strahan tucking those dudes up front. We're just in Brady's face all game. And you just had to feel bad for him. Brett throws out another name.
I think he was the closest. Oh, yeah, Chris Paul. I was going to say, because Randy might have been the closest one to actually get to a championship. I don't think Chris Paul made it to the finals yet. So at least Randy got to the Super Bowl.
The Suns.
With the Suns with the Milwaukee.
They lost to the Bucks.
Okay.
I think, wasn't he?
That was his best chance, I said.
Oh, Charles Barkley, man.
Yep.
Jeez.
I mean, he gets reminded of that every day on TNT.
Yeah, it was Shaq.
Well, doesn't King Smith, he don't have a ring, does he?
Yeah. Kenny got 2.
Kenny got 2?
He got him on Elijah One's back.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan, that's another team you could watch too. Those Elijah One Rockets.
I know, man. You gotta tell me twice, man.
Talking about that's gonna be a
fan.
See, but that can be a topic for another day because I was somebody who was in love with Embiid, and I'm like, well, Embiid for me, Embiid is the imitation dream. I prefer, so I want to, who do you prefer? Would you be a dream or Joel Embiid person if you had to start your team? But like I said, that's a topic for another day.
Yeah. Definitely, I'll save that one.
I mean, there's some other players on this. Well, John Stockton, Steve Nash. Tracy McGrady.
Good, but I don't think I would take Stockton over Nash. Though.
I think Allen Iverson should have had 1 ring at least. But I mean, I think he was a more like. I always say Allen Iverson was the more prolific point guard. He will still get you like 20, 25 a game, but he changed the game as where it's like
Iverson was a prolific scorer.
Right.
Just pure point guard, not necessarily. But scorer, yeah. And I give him credit for, like everybody, they give LeBron credit for dragging the Cleveland Cavaliers team to the finals. I'm like, hell, I got to give AI credit dragging that Philly, that 76ers team to the finals. And so it's like, yeah.
Absolutely. All right. I mean, so definitely some really good names that we didn't obviously name.
Yeah, I mean, that was just.
I'm gonna throw another one out there for it. I was a big Supersonics fan. I was kind of mad Sean Kemp never got one.
Kemp or Gary Payton?
That's right, because Payton. Because I was about to say Payton, but I remember he went to the Lakers to try to get one, and they couldn't. And they stacked that team too with him, Malone.
Yeah.
Did Malone get hurt that year?
I think he got hurt late that year.
Yeah.
But I think he was still there for the playoffs, though. They just lost.
So Brett says AI had the defensive player of the year, 6th man of the year, and coach of the year. It wasn't as bad as everyone said. Just happened to run into Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah,
that's true. There was talent on the team, but it's just like, I mean.
So Theo Ratliff was the defensive player of the year. Come on now, Theo Ratliff, and we had him put up with the Hawks. He was, he ain't no, but there's nothing to write home about. Who 6th man was it? Aaron McKee or somebody, or was it Eric Snow? One of them was 6th man of the year.
Might be
that
McKee.
Roster, that roster wasn't that hot. If people give, like I said, if you give LeBron credit for dragging.
Okay, so Dikembe. He said Dikembe 2021, but he meant 2001. I guess Dikembe was the defensive player of the year.
Mutombo? Yeah, still.
But, I mean, looking at Allen Iverson, I mean, over his first 10 seasons, he did average over 28 points per game, 6.1 assists, 2.3, he ranked first, 22nd, and first in those 3 numbers during the run. So, I mean, and he finished with 19,115 points. So, it's not like, he had a bad career, but maybe one championship kind of solidified his legacy, but
But like I said, that was his shot at getting there.
But like Brett said, he kind of ran into Shaq and Kobe at the same time.
Ran into a Shaq and Kobe team. Yeah,
the two big giants. So
he had a chance with that Nuggets squad too.
Oh yeah, with Carmelo
and Chauncey Billups and George Karl was their coach.
Oh, and Canby. That was Marcus Camby.
Might have been on that team. All right, Jordan throwing out a Marcus.
I know Kenyon Martin. Come on, brother. Come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, I play my old 2K games before, man.
I'm just saying, Marcus Camby's a guy that doesn't get thrown out, in the normal basketball conversations. But
I mean, come on. I know it's running 98, man. But I know my old school basketball. Tayshaun Prince, Richard Hamilton.
I'm not down this. Like I said, when most of us talk basketball, Camby's not a guy who gets thrown out.
Well, like we said, Nuggets. That's for Carmelo, Iverson, Camby, Martin.
Yeah, they had a good team.
Yeah.
And now his son's in the league. I think. I forget the son's name. He's in the league now. Martin.
Martin Jr.
Yeah, I think he's on the Rockets. I think.
Yeah. A bunch of these dudes from the '90s, their sons are in the league now. It's crazy.
And LeBron's played basically all of them. All their dads, like I think Martin on the Sacramento, he said his son he played against his dad and LeBron, so it's like that's how LeBron's been in the league for a long, long time.
Time to move on, buddy. Time to move on.
Carry on, like Kendrick Perkins. Carry on. Man.
Yeah.
But I was. Go ahead.
No, I'll just throw it in there. LeBron, hang it up. You've been in it too long.
He still put up numbers, man.
See, I was about to say that putting up numbers.
Go down that road,
are you trying to win, or are you there for putting up numbers? That's reminding me of the Aaron Rodgers talking about I can come back and win the MVP. It's like, okay, MVP, or are you trying to win a championship?
I said the same thing, and I felt like nobody went at him for that. I'm still at MVP level. Okay, how about you get a second ring?
Yeah,
you've been in the MVP level for like 15 years.
Yeah.
That dude. That's for Brett. Brett's the Packers fan. But yeah, I think we can jump into the next topic.
Should I do mine? Or you want to do yours?
Go ahead, Jordan.
All right. So, should I do my original question and do the follow up, or just do the question and the follow up? Because this one does have a follow up, kind of. Because mine was gonna
do the original.
Because my original one, because I picked, there were so many different dynasties out there. I was kind of like pick and choose. So mine was just an overall sports question: hockey, baseball, MLB, football. I chose the Chicago Bulls 91-98 dynasty, the Spurs 1999 to 2000 dynasty, the Yankees. So Spurs 99 to 2014 dynasty. Yankees 96 to 2000 dynasty, and Lakers 1988 dynasty, or the New England Patriots 2001 to 2014. So out of those couple dynasties, what dynasty would you want to be a part of and experience, and what position would you play and why? Out of those dynasties, I'll probably I'll go first. This is my question. I'll probably go with the. It's so hard because I want to play with Tom Brady because he's a GOAT, but then MJ's right there because he's a GOAT. So I'll probably pick the Bulls because I'm more of a basketball kind of guy. I feel like kind of like Leonard from Jordan. I know if I played bad, he'll be up with my skin. kind of make me better. But
probably would have choked you out.
He probably would have. Draymond Green punched me, man. Like even 10 times harder. Hey, he did. But no, I think it'll be cool to live that kind of like that time. Mm-hmm. I know I'll be kind of under Jordan's wing, but that'd be cool to because that Bulls team during that time frame was like the most popular team. So it was pretty cool.
They were box office every city they went. You had to go.
I'm not sure what I play a point guard because I'm 6 foot. But I'm a big kind of dude. I'm a husky 6 foot. So I don't know if I should be a power forward or
Jordan will punch you in the face if you mess up. Then he gets the best out of you.
Yo,
He got
I feel like
I
I didn't realize how far a three ball was. I probably airball three. He probably
he probably wouldn't pass to you again.
probably right. But no, like just for the experience, like just for to get that basketball knowledge and pick his brain. I'd probably play with Jordan in that era.
Brett has an interesting take on it too. I'd want to be on the 90s Bulls so I could party with Rodman, bet against Jordan. It'd be tons of fun off the court.
Now,
Rodman off the court.
No, did you just? I don't think I want. I'm not going with that one because you heard Shaq tell a story about Rodman and partying. Just as soon as he finished the game, no shower, no nothing, just go to the party, and then back the next morning talking about practicing. He hadn't slept or nothing like that. Nah, man. That's a recipe for disaster for me, boy. I wouldn't be able to do nothing.
I mean, to Coach Dunphy's point, Jordan, he did get under your skin, but like you say, same for Kobe and Shaq, or more Kobe, because Kobe, he was like, that guy that would, be like, yo, what the hell? Why are you taking that shot for him? And that's for, what I'm saying? Like, he would do the same thing. So, so that era, that's hard because, but Jordan, definitely for me personally, I'm a basketball guy. I'll probably say Chicago or Laker era. Because Kobe, I deal with Kobe and Shaq. But Shaq, he probably kill me, man, with his size. So he probably bodied me and he made me retire my first year, man. But no.
With Jordan, he's trying to build you up to be tough. So
Kobe too. Well, I would say not Kobe's first couple years. I say when Kobe was more more older, as far as maybe 10 years into the league. Kobe, because you get to remember Kobe, man.
It got to be within that time span of that
dynasty
winning
that
championship.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That back, brother.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm picking Jordan. That dynasty. So I guess we go with Brian and Kyle. You can go first, or don't matter.
I can jump in there. Not a big one. For me, as much as I hate to say it, I'd have to pick that Patriots dynasty. Go ahead and give me them. Was it six rings? And I think that's a sport that I could actually see myself playing professionally, football wise. Because in Belichick's system, you could be one of them outside linebackers, safeties, or going on offense because they will flip Brewski over or whoever else, one of them linebackers, and let them play tight end or something like that. I'd be perfect in that, man. So yeah, it'll be the Patriots dynasty. I fit in seamlessly.
Me as a homer, I'd probably pick the Patriots dynasty, but I guess from the outside of that, I would probably have gone with '90s Bulls.
Yeah,
I could be.
Hey, me and Kyle on the same team. I dig that.
Probably because that's the thing. It's easy for me to say Patriots. I'm a Patriots fan. I can see myself playing.
Also, I pick the Yankees too because I'm a Yankee fan. That'd be cool too, man. Because to play with them Yankees, man. But
see, you got facial hair. Baseball, nope, because you can't play for the Yankees there because you got to be clean shaven and all that crap.
Yeah. I'm not saying I noticed, but I dig my haircut, man. I don't. You gotta notice that?
The beard gotta go.
Yep, you got to get rid of the beard and everything else. You got to be what is it, baby butt face?
I feel like I can maintain what you got, Brian, a little 4 minute shoe, man.
No, but that's the thing. You have to cut it. You have to be clean. What they call it, clean shave. So you can't have any facial hair if you're playing for the Yankees.
Yeah,
I think was it Giambi or what's the other guy that played for the Red Sox? Johnny Damon.
Johnny Damon, man. Oh, he looked so weird, man.
And they had, that was the thing. You had to cut your facial hair. And I was like, you just to play baseball? No.
Well, I think you can have the beard in the offseason, but then again, once season, you have to cut off.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
But if you want that contract, you would.
That's why I'm playing for the Patriots. I can just still win 6 championships and do my thing.
Yankees have 27 world titles, man. So it's all good, man.
Well, no, between that run, though.
Oh my God! All right, Kyle. Whatever.
Think about it.
Yep.
What would you see yourself most likely being able to do?
I play baseball. I play baseball and basketball, so it's like
a 97 mile an hour fastball.
Nope.
Coming off the '90s Bulls bench, you play tough defense, maybe knock down an open shot or two, and you good.
More likely, Yeah.
Because like Brett put it, me, Jordan, Kyle, big three coming off the Bulls bench. I would come off the Bulls. You give me 10 minutes. Yeah, man, I'm good. I'll just sit on the bench and be like, yo, Jordan about to win this for us.
Well, which one? Me or Jordan? Now, which one?
I
forgot. I was like,
to win this for us.
That would be hilarious. Phil Jackson looking down. Jordan, get up.
Yo, coach, put me in, coach. Put me in.
Come on, bro.
Put me in, coach. Wait, are you talking about the ball-headed Jordan or me, yo? Like,
that is an interesting question because, even with the Patriots, that means you got to deal with Belichick and
his toughness,
never-ending pursuit of perfection. You got to get the like every detail down because that's the way that he approaches the game plan. You got to fit into the Patriots culture. So
yeah, see, I think they
interviews and all that. You got to keep it real, bland and vanilla.
I think
Unless
they
you're Gronk, because Gronk
they
got to be Gronk, but
I think they overblow that whole Patriots culture thing.
I do too.
Because that's something you could easily roll into as long as if you want them eccentrics that gotta have then you probably do have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But other than that, you're going out there playing football, man. If you're ready to go bust a head or two, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
No problem. And I can give you
a
basic little interview of non-answering questions. That'd be simple, bro.
Yeah.
Sign me up right now.
If I pick the Pacers dynasty, I'll probably play tight end. I'd be the next Black Gronkowski, man. Because I'm a big body guy. I can block. I can catch the ball.
You gonna be mini Gronk.
Hey, I'm not small, man. I'm a big
short,
man. Oh yeah, I am. Yeah.
Gronk is what 6'6". Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's
you
what I'm like.
Tight end.
Yeah.
Every team has one of those.
Like I said, you been that fullback.
You want him out in pass coverage. That's interesting. Tight end. Yeah, for me, definitely.
I said I could say quarterback. I can throw the ball, but I don't want to take Tom Brady's shine, man. Oh man, it's tough. I mean, even the Spurs, man. Being with Greg Popovich, he's like the Belichick of like the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, tough coach. Didn't say much in the media. Now he's saying more in the media because the social injustice and stuff, and he's speaking out more. But he was always as that coach. It's kind of like being quiet and kind of like chill. Keeps his anger, under wraps. But even playing with them, like
he's only like that publicly because that's the same with Belichick.
Like you think he's more light with his players?
Players will tell you in the locker room. Belichick will tell jokes. He'll laugh, but he gets out to the media and it's just like, yeah, we just have to play better.
I know this is not part of the show, but speaking of the Spurs, you about like the DeJounte Murray, how he got handled on the Spurs, and how like Tony Parker was kind of like he was there for like 6 years and like on the bench, and then they kind of treated him wrong because he thought he was like a thug off the street.
That's I didn't hear that.
Oh, you hear the interview?
I heard something about like Murray and not liking Tony Parker necessarily,
because he was playing behind him like on the bench.
Which I mean, that was when Murray got there. It was kind of the tail end of the
that's true.
Spurs, but they were still holding on. It's just like for Murray, I get the sense like Murray thought coming in he would have a bigger role like immediately, but it was like I said, they were still trying to get every little bit out of that big three, and he had to understand that when he got drafted there. I would hope he understood that.
But yeah, I mean, I can devil's advocate. If you are Murray, you're a young guy coming in. Mm-hmm. You saw what Tony Parker was looking like in the last couple of years.
That's true.
It was rough. It was tough sledding with that one. So I would think that you want to rest him a little bit more. Get the young guys out there, get some run, and then bring them in when you need Tony Parker.
I think the issue was because when Murray was on the bench, I think his problem with Parker was, I know this is off topic, but it's kind of NBA-ish. But I know like when Murray was behind Parker went to Charlotte, and he didn't want to stay and help, develop Murray, be a mentor. But he was calling Parker selfish because of that. So, But I don't know. I mean, because you're supposed to have that mentor to help you, but like you said, he was young, so it's like maybe he kind of like, yo, you're supposed to stick around and help me out, But he went to Charlotte and he did poorly there. So,
I mean, I feel like that's more of an NFL thing, the whole mentoring
but the
thing.
mentor,
Because like NBA, it's kind of like you don't necessarily have to be
Huh.
mentored by the guy at your position. Like a different veteran could still mentor you.
Yeah, but you do want to be the guy that you're supposed. Well, I take that back. Yeah, because if you coming in, you the young guy. I'm looking at you. Well, even in the NFL though, it's only one point guard that's gonna be out on the floor at the one at a time. Now, if you a backup offensive lineman, it's two or three, two guard spots, two tackle spots. I'm not necessarily aiming to take your job, but you
Mhm.
might still mentor me, take me under your
Hmm.
wing. If I'm coming in as the number 2 point guard, you might not like me too much because you're getting older and thinking off in the head to actually take your job. So I
Yeah,
kind of get it, but you just don't want to see it like that. You know what I mean, man? It's like a young guy coming in. It is what it is. You getting older. That's
yeah,
life.
that's true.
But
Also, it's
that's
kind of like Murray. It's been how long now?
see,
He's
see, but I think it's a thing of they started to ask him questions about it. But it's the
yeah,
same thing. But you got to look at it. It's the same thing with Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and Jordan Love. The exact same thing played out. Aaron Rodgers he took offense to how Brett Favre handled it, but then he turned around and did the same exact thing.
right. Yep, exactly. Yeah,
So it's like it is what it is. It's just I don't think that'll ever stop because you got the old guy that can't realize that he's getting old, and the young guy's coming in.
right. Yeah, that's probably the biggest factor in all of that is if the older player recognizes kind of their place, then you don't have that issue. But if it's the veteran who's like, I still got 5 good years in me, so you wait your turn, then that's where it becomes an issue. So I definitely agree with
Yeah.
that part of it. Yeah. I mean, go with my topic now. So for me, there's 4 teams in the NFL who have never been to a Super Bowl, and it's the Browns, the Jags, the Lions, and the Texans. So my question is, out of those 4 teams, who do you feel is the closest to getting there? I mean, I guess I'll continue the trend. I'll answer first. I would say the Texans, you'd probably take them out of it because they're still
don't
a
take
few
my
years
answer.
away.
Don't take my answer, please.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be taken.
I mean, we all know it's gonna be the Jags, right?
Well, I think
No.
the Jags might be the obvious answer,
Well,
but
yeah.
you got to look at the Lions, who I feel like are kind of getting there as well.
Mm.
And then the Browns, depending on Deshaun Watson, that would definitely help them. But I do think it is the Jags because Peterson and that game that they had against Kansas City. If you look at that, if it wasn't for the fumble deep in Kansas City territory and the drop pass by Christian Kirk, we could be talking about a different game completely. And I think the whole thing with Lawrence going down the tunnel, stopping, making sure everybody kept their head up as they were going up the tunnel, shows his leadership. And I think that's a really good step for Peterson and that team to take into next year. Because we've seen some of these young quarterbacks like Zach Wilson, where leadership was a big issue.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence has already shown he can be the leader of that team.
Yep.
And I think if they continue to develop and make a little bit of improvement here and there, I feel like this playoff run will help them down the line. But I definitely think the Jags are the closest to getting there. They'll probably run that division for the next at least 5 years. The only thing will be holding them back, Mahomes isn't going anywhere. Burrow's not going anywhere. Now, Josh Allen, has been a lot of talk about him this weekend, but he's still going to be there. If the Chargers figure out and Staley, whatever, Herbert's going to be there. So it's going to be tough for Lawrence to break through, but I think he's probably the closest to getting there with the Jags. We can go with Jordan next. Who do you think? I mean, do you agree? So Jags,
No, I was gonna. That's why I was gonna please don't fair, but it's pretty obvious. I mean, Jags. I mean, they were almost.
It's obvious though. That's what I'm saying. Because
so there you go. But go
Well,
ahead,
yeah,
Jordan.
go.
Not gonna say because it's not. I mean, it's obvious, but it's not as obvious at the same time because they were a game away from getting to the divisional round or the conference game. So it's like you said, if it wasn't for the fumble, if it wasn't for the drop pass by Christian Kirk, like you said, I mean, we could have been talking about a different outcome. And I mean, it's not like Trevor Lawrence had like a bad overall season. I just feel like out of those teams, like the Browns, Texans, Lions have opportunities on the defense side of the ball, and of course on the onside of the ball too with Dan Campbell at the helm. But just those teams, I think since Lawrence has had that first taste of playoff experience, and with him having coordinator um, just Press Taylor. I mean, he's a good guy to have in his corner. Former offensive coordinator for the Eagles, won a championship with the Eagles at the offensive coordinator. Back when he won a Super Bowl, so he has a right offensive coach for Lawrence to build that offense. And now they got Calvin Ridley back in the fold, so it's like who knows what Calvin Ridley. I mean, even though he's been off the field for like a whole year or so.
But do we know Ridley's necessarily back in the fold yet?
I
I know
thought
they traded for him, but
yeah.
I feel like
Well, I think
reinstated.
He's gonna be reinstated by the time the season comes back around.
Yeah, because I think he's had a 1 year suspension. So after I think so he should be back.
Well, they did it. It's an indefinite suspension, but I doubt if it's gonna be longer than a year.
Right. Yeah.
Hopefully he hasn't kept going with it, and then hopefully he's, I guess, kept it clean off the field and can get reinstated.
Yeah. But if he does come back, I mean, or if he can play, who knows what kind of receiver he can be for Lawrence. A big body, tall receiver who can catch the ball. So yeah, we'll see. But out of those teams, I think the Jazz, because in the AFC North, you have the Bengals, Steelers. They're kind of like on the up to with Pickett. Ravens. No, but I'm saying like you said, the Browns, Texans.
Oh, my fault. I thought you said
the other team. But yeah, like with like the Browns, I mean the Ravens. Who knows with Lamar? Who knows if he comes back and what they have? So Bengals, the Browns. I mean, I don't know. We haven't really seen a whole full season with Watson since he was on the Texans. So yeah, we'll see.
This offseason will be important for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, for sure, to get his pieces together and get that chemistry going with his receivers and Chubb and stuff. So yeah, I mean that looked good, but I mean, yeah. I feel like the Jets had the better chance of getting there.
All right, Brian, who do you think?
All right, so I was along the same thought process as y'all with the Jags, because just looking at the end of this season, that's the only team that actually made it to the playoffs. But I would say it's the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
Simply because you need to win your conference to ensure that you're into the playoffs. The way that NFC North is going now, with the Vikings being blah, and Kirk Cousins still there. Green Bay, you don't know what you're going to get because you don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to decide he wants to play and whatever else. Chicago is a dumpster fire. And then you got the Lions. So with the way that the Lions into that season, if they can keep that momentum going, roll into the next season, they got a shot at actually winning the division. On top of that, the Lions team ain't that bad.
Yeah,
they got a decent defense, and the offense can put up some points. So with that, if they can get into the playoffs, I think they'll be able to play with anybody. And if you realistically look at the quarterbacks in the NFC,
right,
Jared Goff, he ain't the greatest, but you only got two really good NFC quarterbacks. And that's including one that we don't know if Tom Brady, what he's going to be looking like when he comes back, if he comes back, or if he decides to retire again, or if he's still going to be in the NFC. You don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do, if he comes back or retire or what the hell he's going to do. Now it just only leaves with Jalen Hurts. Because Dak is Dak, and you see who else. Hell, you don't know if it's Purdy or Jimmy G or whatever's going on in San Francisco. So I think the path to the Super Bowl might be the easiest shot is going through the NFC, just because you don't know. There's not a lot of top tier quarterback talent, proven quarterback talent in the NFC. So I
Yeah,
would have to say it's the Lions for me.
yeah, I agree. That's why I was when Jordan, when you said it's obvious, I was like, it's not, because I could make a strong argument for Detroit as well. And kind of what I said about Lawrence, you got to worry about Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Herbert, and those guys. Whereas for Detroit, their biggest issue could be, Chicago's got a lot of money. If they spend it the right way, Chicago could be Detroit from this year next year.
I just doubt
But
that they do it though.
exactly, that's what's like. You may spend it all on, slow wide receivers, and Fields is in the same position.
Yep.
Brett first said Detroit is on the rise. I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
answer.
definitely they are on the rise for sure. I'm not gonna I definitely
That's
agree
if
with
they
that.
figure out the quarterback situation. Look out, because that's another team that Lawrence potentially, if the Jets figure out their quarterback position, yeah. So the
Because they
AFC
got,
is definitely going to be tougher for the next few years, which might make it
Yeah.
harder on Lawrence. But
see, no, but the AFC is tougher because we're looking at prove what the quarterbacks are there and what they've been able to do.
right,
Mhm.
The NFC is a bunch of question marks.
It's
So
like
if
wide
they
open.
actually bring in, if Chicago quarterback situation gets handled out,
Yep.
if Detroit, if they do what they're supposed to do, then you're still looking at Tampa. Tampa still has some weapons on offense. Now they got to get their running back situation
yep,
figured out, but you still got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin there, and a couple of decent tight ends. So if you got a quarterback in there that can get them the ball, and that offensive just system set,
Mhm.
that's another issue that you're going to have. So
you got
the
Kyler Murray. If
Giants,
Kyler Murray ever
yeah,
matures and gets the right coach, yeah.
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 So like I
And they
said,
still need a defense too. So
and then San Francisco, you still can't forget about San Fran because they're doing what they're doing on a third string quarterback.
hmm yeah,
So that's what I said. It's iffy, and just because the NFC, you don't have the proven quarterback talent that's what you got in the AFC. But if you
The,
did, then it's shit. That's
the
what
thing
rolling the
the,
dice on that one.
the thing is like the thing about like for Brian's point, like do you think that Jared Goff is like further foreseeable future, like 2 years, 3 years down the line? Do you think Jared Goff is the answer, or do you need to, or they're gonna be in the market for another quarterback in upcoming years? Like, do
See,
you think
I'm not.
he is the answer?
I think Goff has shown enough that he should be the Lions quarterback. I think. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think when he's with the Rams. By the end of the time of his time with the Rams, I thought he was like a career backup. And lucky for him, he got out of there, went to a situation with a
Was better,
coach
yeah.
with Campbell and them that they kind of just made the offense fit Goff's skill set. They some weeks would put up 30 something points pretty easily. Where with the Rams, you'd be lucky to get 20 out of him with the Rams by the end of his time there.
But that's the
So
craziest part because you got Sean McVay he does offense. He does offense pretty well.
right.
So when Jared Goff struggled, I was like, man, I don't know. You got to find something else with him. So when he did get to Detroit and started putting up the numbers that he did, I'm still surprised
Mhm.
that he put up the numbers that he did. And then I'm looking at it's 1 year. I
Right.
need to see him do it a little bit more because I had saw too much of him with the Rams.
Right.
I still don't trust him. But that's like with Kyler Murray. Yeah, he's an awesome talent. I don't trust him. And
Absolutely.
hell, Justin Herbert, awesome talent. I still don't trust him because there's no way you have Mike Williams and what's my other receiver, Keenan
Keenan,
Allen,
Keenan Allen, yeah.
and you can't do nothing with that. Come on, bro. Mm-mm.
Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah, this
definitely be.
offense is going to be really, very interesting. This offense with
Yeah.
QB carousels and Tom Brady's decisions again, Aaron Rodgers' decision. It's going to be crazy. Derek Carr is still in the mix of a team.
Derek
See,
Carr is completely forgotten now because everybody's now worried about Brady and Rodgers. Whereas
Right.
Carr's like, I was the first one to really be on the open market because the Raiders basically told me to go home.
Nah,
It's
I
like
don't think
nobody cares where he's going.
I know. I think people still care where he's going, especially depending on where Sean Payton ends up.
So you think he might be tied to Peyton?
I don't know if he is, but if I'm Sean Payton and I don't like the quarterback situation to what I'm going in, like Carolina,
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah, bring him on over because I know he's got an affordable contract that we can have for him, and I can put some more pieces in there, and I can win my first year coming in, walking in the door
Yeah,
with
yeah,
with
that would be
Aaron
interesting.
Rodgers and that big old contract that you coming in with, that you're gonna be saddled with.
Yeah,
Gee, I
yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
about you. You better have everything else in place before you even think about that and trying to deal with that mess of a contract. Mm-mm.
All right, Brett says maybe Justin Fields becomes available if the Bears draft a quarterback with the first pick, which would be stupid, but I see what you're saying. But I do not think they should. But Chicago is a dumpster fire, so who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you never know with that one, especially bringing it's a new GM, probably a new coach, and eh, the Justin Fields wasn't their pick.
right.
Now, do I think you can win with them? Yeah, I was been saying send them down to Atlanta. I'll take them.
Yeah, he would fit perfectly in Atlanta. Yeah, and plus when you get that first pick, some teams they get jumpy up there because you have that first pick and you like automatically want to take the flashy quarterback. Whereas the smart decision could be you trade back, you get more picks because with the Texans sitting at two, who's going to take a quarterback? There's going to be a lot of teams behind them that would love to jump up there. So you get the draft capital, and then you kind of manipulate the draft that way.
See, but with that, I'm still thinking of if we so crazy about quarterbacking that number one pick, who is the number one quarterback coming out? Is it
Mm,
Ohio State quarterback that everybody's
might
I
be
don't
either him or Bryce Young, top quarterback.
see, and even with Bryce Young, I still think that it's too close to a Tua situation where size and being able to stay healthy in college. If you can't do it in college, I don't know if you go to a team that has the number one pick
Mm-hmm.
that they're gonna be able to keep you upright.
Healthy, yeah.
That's
That's
gonna be
another
that
good
one that
question.
that's that David Carr situation. They destroyed David Carr just because they could not keep him upright.
So Anthony dumps in and says the Bears don't draft Anderson; they should trade back. Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like quarterbacks should not even enter their mind.
No,
Which, but like Brett
got
said,
way too many
the Bears have
holes.
shown over the past few years we can't trust their decision making. So that's definitely something to watch. But um, so like I said, no Gene for a pick. Brett says agreed. So we're going with Brett. We're going with your question, with your topic from last week, where you asked us about All NBA. So, as you know, three All NBA teams. I sat here and actually wrote out my three teams. And by the time I got to the third team, I realized it was much tougher than I thought it was going to be. Um, each one, and I mean, any one of you want to start, or you want me to give my three and then you kind
Yeah,
of pick it apart?
yeah, you
Yeah,
can
I'll
give
do
your.
my three.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
dissect yours.
Okay. Brett, you can dissect mine as well because I'm sure your list may be better. So my first team, I have Luca, Steph.
Wait, is this like all current players? It's like just okay,
Yeah, he's like, yeah, bro. That's
Yeah,
my like who would be my All NBA teams for this year.
yeah, for
okay.
So
this year.
Luca, Steph, Tatum, Giannis, and I went Jokic. I'm sure the Philly fans would be like, "Oh, Embiid." I went Jokic.
Yeah,
My
that
second
was-
team, I have John Morant. I've got Donovan Mitchell, KD, LeBron, Embiid. Then my third team, I went Shea. I went Jalen Brown. Here's where it got tricky. I went DeRozan. I went Markkinen, and then I went Sabonis. Now there's some names that aren't on the list, like AD. I said because AD hasn't played
he ain't
enough
played
games
enough.
yet, so
Yeah,
I left him off. Zion, same thing. I feel like he hasn't played enough games, so I left him off. So those are two names that obviously, if they came back and played enough, they could jump in. I left Halliburton off, which was tough because I'm a big Halliburton guy. But I couldn't see Halliburton jumping into that guard group over the six guards I had. Left Dame off and Kyrie. Kyrie because of, I mean, I just don't like seeing Kyrie, especially these few games since KD's gone down. It seems like Kyrie's production's gone down a little bit as well. And I can't really make the argument that Kyrie's had a better season than either of the six guards that I put up there as well. So that's my All NBA team. Like I said, you guys go ahead and dissect it, tear it apart.
Wait, so you put Curry in your first team?
Yes.
But
Which that one I thought,
didn't he go down with an injury, so he kind of missed a couple months?
I know, but it's just like
That's like
Yeah.
throwing AD in there. Like AD missed a couple months, but it's like
But nah,
But
he,
nah,
played,
but
but
like-
he played more than AD. So
yeah,
that's
that's
true.
true. But
AD
but
got-
still,
yeah.
I mean, obviously Curry, good player, obviously fantastic player, but he did
See,
miss a
I-
couple,
my only thing was
That's
maybe
tricky.
I put Curry second team, maybe Ja first, but I was like, I gotta go Curry first team.
But who was your four? Who was your your fourth for your first team?
The forwards I had Tatum, Giannis, and Jokic.
I'm totally building my list off of yours. I had Curry 1, 2 Tatum, 3 LeBron. I'm stuck with my 4 and 5. I think I'm gonna go 5 Jokic and 4. I'm kind of like in between of like
So you have LeBron first team.
I have
Mm-mm. Whew. Yeah, man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because I'm
Luka. I forgot Luka.
I-
Yeah, Luka's on the floor.
Steph being on the first team. That's my biggest issue with that one. Now I can flip
But
flop
I'm okay with
between.
that.
Yeah, I can flip flop between Jokic and Embiid first team. That's the
Okay.
only other one that I'm like, we got to figure something out. And I like Donovan Mitchell that he's on there, but I don't know
So
if
Anthony put Jordan, you must be a Lakers fan.
I mean, you see what the man doing at 39, like averaging 30 something a game.
Yeah,
See,
LeBron's not
now-
first team for me.
now this is my
Is he
issue.
13 or 14? Come on.
This is the only
I
issue
have
that
LeBron
I
on the
have.
second team. LeBron's on the second team All NBA.
See, this is the only issue that I have just talking when it comes to NBA. I always had a problem with a big guard, big forward, a big guy that can score and rebound. I'm like, that's what you're supposed to be able to do in the NBA.
Mhm.
I can't give you credit because you're 6'10" and you can score 20 points and get 10 rebounds. Good, because if you didn't, I'm like, you don't need to be out there. So when it comes to LeBron and people say, oh, he scored a bunch. I hope he did. He's a Mack truck running through people. Yeah, he's supposed to score. If he should, LeBron should average a triple double. I don't care what nobody say. And if you don't average a triple double, that's why I'm looking at you like, bro, you could have did more.
Yeah. And also, I say, like, if AD, Zion, if they were to come back and they get up to All NBA level, I mean, I'd probably knock LeBron to third team, to be honest with you. But for right now, I feel like the way the season's gone, you'd have to have him as second team.
Yeah.
I mean, as Brett put it, he has the same first team as me. I mean, Brett, you can let us know, I guess, who's your second and third team. But I mean, my only questions were like getting down to the third team, like DeRozan. I feel like I mean, I know the Bulls aren't that good, but I feel like DeRozan is still putting up numbers. And when you get down to the third team, like I said, with no AD, no Zion to really factor in, I think that's how DeRozan would get in. But he's probably one who would fall out as well if AD and Zion were to come back and play well.
Yeah.
Brett says LeBron won't average a triple-double, to be fair, due to how bad his shooters are.
Well, right now, I can see
Yeah.
that. But I could also be like, hey, man, that's the only thing that I think LeBron, he has to have. LeBron has to have spot-up shooters, and that's why I hate what they did to Chris Bosh. Just turned him into a spot-up shooter for 4 years and had everybody thinking he was garbage.
I
Because
agree.
he has to be in the lane, being able to he's ball dominant. LeBron has never been really able to, in my a personal opinion, he's not very good off the ball. I, c- I need you to be more than just I gotta have the ball in my hand so I can make a play, and that's the problem with Russell Westbrook, who somehow, some ways, has been able to average a triple double, and it's not necessarily that he's had all world shooters on his teams either, but somehow, some way, he was able to do it. Now they still lost a bunch, but I'd rather take the win and you not get a triple double versus you getting a triple double and your team lose. But that's like I said, that's my knock on anybody that's that big, that talented. Is the game is made for you to succeed.
Yeah. So Anthony says Luka is the same way as LeBron.
That's the knock I got on Luka.
Mm-hmm.
Super ball dominant, and he cannot. He's ineffective without the ball in his hand.
Right. Yep.
But then Luka on defense is horrible. I mean, atrocious. It's like, come on, bro. You can't play defense like James Harden. You're supposed to be better than that. Because hell, James Harden should be better than that.
Yeah.
So that's my scale of grading defense is Harden or above. If you James Harden not done playing defense, bro, come on. And he too big for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's my knock on guys like Trae Young. These guys who really just focus offense only, and defense, it's like,
yeah,
like you make one little jab step and I'll let you go. It's like, hey, I was here for like 0.2 seconds. I tried. And then you just give up completely, give them the lane, and you're just like.
The funniest thing is the Kevin McHale story about James Harden. How he said James Harden, the defender, was out on the 3-point line, and so James wasn't paying no attention. So the guy cut to the basket, threw them pass, got an easy layup. They said James Harden turned around looking like, who man was that? Like, it was your man. It's just, you supposed to been guarding him.
All right, so what do you guys think about what Anthony says here? They're the same. When does LeBron play defense? He just chases down the ball. I mean, I've always been one to say LeBron is a better off-ball defender.
Hey, LeBron's not really been that known defender. He can defend, he can block, he can definitely defend, but he hasn't really been that known. That's why he hasn't really won Defensive Player of the Year, because he hasn't really been known for that defense. So.
But that's my problem with LeBron.
Because you figure a guy that big and physical.
I mean, he can still defend, but it's
keep
not.
Guys away from the hoop. But
I mean, didn't he
play defense on guys? And
didn't he lead the league or 1 year with everything, points, rebounds, assists, steals? I think it was like a couple years ago.
You lead in rebounding. I mean,
I think in all categories.
The league in rebounding, but
or like,
it's like that doesn't make you a good defender because you rebound.
Nah. But I just think, like I said, my problem with LeBron has always been effort on the defensive end.
Yep.
That's why I separate him and Michael Jordan. You didn't question Jordan on defense. You didn't question if he was trying or how much. No, he was out there trying to shut somebody down.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think LeBron ever did that outside of playing with Kobe in the Olympics or something like that. But how much credit am I going to give him?
That Olympics time was when you probably saw LeBron at his best defensively.
Yeah, that was it.
Easier to play defense then.
And that was it, because you actually saw him try. He was actually hustling. He was trying to lock somebody down. And I'm like, bro, if you did that, there would be no argument that you would be the best player that ever played the game of basketball. But that's what, to me, separates him from Michael Jordan.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I feel the same way when it comes to that. And also with LeBron, it's like, yeah, he does a lot of chase down blocks, and it's like those kind of get overblown a lot of the time. Like, people think because of that he's a really good defender. Or it's like, no, all it is that you're good at help defending sometimes. Because I've seen other times with LeBron's help defense, it's like non-existent. Because we've seen it a lot kind of later in his career, especially. I mean, there are times where I watch Laker games and the guy would go by their man and LeBron's kind of in the post, doesn't really help out, and he'll be like talking to the dude like, that's your man. It's like, yeah, you could have helped him at least, done something.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it. The analysts and stuff will tell you he does so much offensively that it's okay if he wants to take defense off a little bit here or there. And it's like, no, that shouldn't be a thing. Like
Because at that point,
you are the number one guy on the team. You have to set the example.
you need to set the tone, and then it's still just because you scored two, that don't mean you let the other guy come down and score. Also, you trying to
Yeah.
stop him.
Yeah, that's my
No.
biggest gripe with the Lakers. It's like I just see it too much. Too many guys get wide open shots. But hold on, let me get Brett's. So Brett's first team was Lucas, Steph, Tatum, Giannis, and Jokic. Like he said, the same as mine. His second team was Ja, SGA, LeBron, Katie, and Joel. So the only difference on the second team was he put Shea instead of Mitchell. I had Mitchell here, which I'm not mad at that. Third team, D, Mitch, Dame, Jaylen Brown, Spicy P, and Sabonis. So yeah, Siakam over DeRozan. That's why some bias on my part. I'm not the biggest Siakam fan. There's something about him I don't know. I just don't like his game.
See, because you don't see. That's another thing that hurts Siakam in that market. You don't see him enough.
Yeah, that's another point. Yeah, granted, KD is injured. AD is my actual third center, but he's hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Donovan Mitchell needs to be second team.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
what he's done with Cleveland and gotten them in what they're second or third in the East.
I think they're like fourth or something, but even that's still even
For that Cleveland team to be at that high, I gotta have him at least on second team.
So for me, I got Curry, Tatum, Braun, Luka, and Jokic for number 5. Second, I got Donovan Mitchell, 2 John Morant, 3 KD, 4 Zion, and 5 Giannis for my 5. And then for my third team, I got De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, 3 Sabonis, 4 Jermaine Grant, and then 5 Miles Turner.
Jermaine Grant.
What?
Yeah.
Miles Turner.
Yeah, Miles Turner.
Miles Turner's mama wouldn't have him on the All-NBA team. No, I mean.
Damn.
That's an interesting.
Miles Turner ranks 5 in as a center for I think offensive centers. With C Turner has.
I use eye test of Miles Turner. He's not all NBA to me.
Nah, yeah, I don't know if I could do that one with Grant or Turner.
He's having 17
Jeremy
points.
Grant,
Miles Turner's
here too.
Yeah. That's just my third team. I mean, that team can change, but
yeah, man, that third team.
I didn't even factor Buddy Hield when I was thinking about the 3 teams.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting third team you got there.
I mean, De'Aaron Fox, show some love to the Kings. I see that. That's kind of why I went with Sabonis. Because I mean, Sabonis is the better. I mean, you look at Sabonis's numbers; he's putting up like 20 and 14 with like 6 assists. But yes, hold on. Brett says SGA, I believe, is one of the 4 best guards in the NBA.
I thought SGA too. I should have put him away
due to how bad the Thunder are. His impact is there, but the supporting pieces aren't good enough yet. Which I think the Thunder are starting to move up a little bit. Cause I think they're within the play-in in the West. If the Thunder were to get a top 6, I think that would really help SGA's case for, probably at least second team. If they get a little bit higher than that, maybe he jumps into maybe even possible first team. I don't think he could really unseat Luka or Steph, but
no.
SGA though is really setting himself up to be a guy you got to factor for in the next coming season. And that Thunder team as well. Him, Giddey. I mean, Giddey's kind of underrated as well, but Giddey's one of those do-all type of guys. He won't impress you with his scoring or assists and all that, but he can kind of do a little bit of everything. I'm kind of excited to see what the Thunder do the next few years.
And you got Chet coming back too, so it's like,
I'm not as. I'm not as high on Chet.
One of those. I'm just like, I worry.
I mean,
Chet.
He was all. People did hype him before he got injured. He was like the, what I'm saying. So it's like, who knows what he can do?
Of course,
I need that was college.
He was a new shiny toy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same as Porzingis. Porzingis was everybody talked about him for a good couple of years, and then it was like, oh, okay, we're gonna trade him. It's like you don't
Well,
trade a unicorn if he's really that unicornish. You know what I mean? You
right.
hold on to them, but no, uh, I just
Yeah,
think that's the
he's
same
been
thing the
bouncing
Jets gonna go
around
through.
too. He's been bouncing around the league because everybody thought he got to Dallas. Oh, this is perfect with Luca. Didn't work there. Now
No,
he's in Washington with Bradley Beal, and Washington's not having a really good year. So
nope.
does he stay there? Who knows? I don't know. Porzingis is another interesting guy in the league, but during that All NBA list, that was interesting. I mean, I'm still wilding out about LeBron on the first team.
Yeah, buddy. I
I
I'm
mean,
mean,
he's
not
averaging
getting.
like
He's
he's
having a
like
little
29
bit.
and a half points. Like, it's
Uh,
like, come on.
yeah, what's it
yeah,
doing
but
in
he's
the
not.
what's it doing in that W column though?
I mean, what, we're 22, 22, 25, I think.
But you still got to think how many other people are scoring more than him. If that's what we're going off of, I mean, nah,
Yeah,
because Giannis is
how much is
scoring more.
LeBron average?
Huh?
How much is LeBron averaging
For
points?
for points, he's
What's he at
at
like 20, like 28, 27?
he ranks second in small forwards with 29.8 points per game, 11 uh free, yeah, so 29.8.
Okay. And it's wild. You put Giannis on the second team.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying because Giannis is scoring. He has a higher, I
well,
think,
I put
a higher point
I
average.
put Jokic at the five, so that's
Mm. Well, hey man, at least you got a list.
I put Luka for the four. Well, but I might flip flop
I mean,
LeBron
yeah,
and Luka,
Luca and Steph. Yeah, I agree with
and then Tatum for number two.
Tatum. Okay.
Yeah, I know you're gonna be like
Uh,
Luka, Jokic,
no,
and then I put
Tatum deserves to be there. I didn't put him there as like a homer or nothing.
Yeah,
He's the first team guy
well, how about
he balling.
how about you put Jalen Brown up there next to Jason Tatum?
because I'm not
Well, Brown on
crazy.
13.
No, your team, Kyle, not mine.
I'm not no because Jalen Brown. Look, I'm the biggest Jalen Brown fan, but with kind of the guards that are in the league right now, I feel like Brown's going to be a third team guy. Now you
Yeah,
could
which
probably
means
make the argument about second team if you want to, depending on how you rate him. You know, Shea, Donovan Mitchell, however you rank those three, will
mhm.
probably let you know how your second team and third team guards will go. And then kind of like Brett, because Brett had Damian Lillard in there on his, I think, second team or third team. On his third team, I left Damian Lillard off. And that was tough for me to do because I mean I recognize Lillard being up in Portland, he's putting up numbers and all that.
Yep.
It was just close. I had to leave him off.
So what?
Brett
Nobody had
said
Julius Randle. 'Cause I was thinking somebody would throw Randle on third team, especially in one of them forward spots.
I thought about Randall, but then I was like, I feel like Markkinen's been better,
Yeah,
and with that Utah team, wasn't a lot expected from them, and Markkinen has shown out.
yeah.
And then with the way that the Bulls kind of made it seem like Markkinen was a bust, and I mean, he's killing it in Utah right now. He might even be an All Star. Brett says, I love Pascal as well as the Raptors. Just have the worst looking offense in the NBA. Turn on five forwards or four forwards in Van Vliet. Yeah, because the Celtics played them yesterday, and the Raptors. If you want to watch a Raptors game, is basically Nick Nurse crying the whole game on the sideline, and then Siakam has the most generic ball handling bag you will ever see.
Yeah.
But he has the ball in his hands all the time, and I don't understand why they do that.
But it's that old Detroit Pistons from then you had Chauncey and other switch them out three with Wallace and Tayshaun Prince. That's pretty much the only thing he's doing,
Yeah, pretty much. But it's
which
like,
works. I mean, if you have a straight talented group of forwards that are all 6'8" to 6'10", yeah, you can get away with that. But if they're not talented, because them dudes were, you run into a problem right there. You're gonna have to really get a true offense.
Yeah, as Brett put it, that's their entire offense. Mid-range jump shot, Van Vliet, way outside the arc.
But see, that's where we talked about the evolution of basketball, where everybody's falling in love with shooting a long jumper or a
Mm-hmm.
three. There's no inside presence to hardly any of these games anymore, and it's like, okay, that's why all your big men are soft as pie. So when you do got one that is a little bruiser, where it can go in and like how Embiid can go and dominate anybody now because there's no true big men anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I think the only true, actually, the only true big man in the league probably Adam from the. He can't really shoot, dominate big men, like
But that's the
But
problem.
But
he's that's the
Adams
only
is like
one. You know what I'm saying? Like
physical
that's
presence though.
right. He dominates, so that's the
I mean,
only center I see.
Valanciunas is a
You
little
know,
bit because
he can
he's
still
a,
shoot the three though.
yeah. I think I said this like some other show, but I give Valanciunas a lot of credit. When I first
Yeah.
saw him in the league, I thought that dude was going to be gone in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Because I thought the league was just going to kind of phase him out because of his skill set, but he's developed that 3-point shot. He's confident.
Brett knows his stuff. He's be like our stat guy, man.
Well, I mean, as a Celtics fan,
Yeah.
I watch the Raptors a lot because there's a lot of Celtics fans that like to watch the Raptors because the Raptors play a lot of team ball. It's just that the pieces that they have, they're kind of like all cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Like Siakam looks like Boucher.
Yeah.
OG Anunoby looks like Scotty Barnes. They're like the same exact player. And, Nick Nurse rolls them out there. They'll kind of hang around the playoffs because of whatever. But until they got Kawhi, they kind of had a ceiling and it was like second round.
Yeah.
Kawhi that year was just magical, push them over the top. If it wasn't for that 7 bounce shot he took against the Sixers, we would never have seen them win a title. But I mean, because of that, the Raptors system, that's kind of what it is. It's like going to, LA Fitness. Every dude on the court's like 6'6", and there's like one short dude. That's their team. Because even they go to the bench, like I said, Boucher, guys like that, they're all the same height, do the same thing. I mean, it's kind of struggling this year, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a second half run. They got at least to the play-in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brett
And
knows
then,
the Raptors basketball for sure.
and then he has, then they had a young up and comer on Ron Harper Jr. He's
I don't
they
even
can-
see him playing a lot when I watch
no.
him.
I don't think he's on the. I think he's on the G League team. He's
Okay.
kind of bouncing in between G League, but I mean that's another piece that can work with power forward.
Here's maybe a hot take. I'm
Mhm.
not that high on Scotty Barnes.
He could possibly replace Scotty Barnes if he does well in the G League.
So I don't know. Scotty Barnes,
Ron Harper, he is. I mean, I've seen him live at Rutgers. He's played. He's the one that hit the game winner against Purdue. Obviously, he's still a young guy, a lot to prove. But maybe that can be that person and swap positions, like swap. Just to get Ron Harper some experience, playing NBA games. But I mean, he's still raw talent, of course. Ron Harper.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like Gary Trent.
I thought you were gonna disagree with me.
I like him.
Yeah, Gary Trent. Yeah, he's the only good 3-point shooter other than Van Fleet.
Right. That's kind of the problem. Yeah. Like you don't want Siakam shooting threes.
We all talk about Lakers not having. I mean, we all knew Lakers have shootings, but Toronto, what do they have to prove with shooting? Like,
Hey, Lakers don't have a Van Vliet. They don't even have
All right.
that. You don't have Gary Trent Jr.
True.
all right.
Y'all really want LeBron shooting threes.
No. Well, hell,
He's
I'm not a
doing it,
Laker
though.
fan, so yeah, I want LeBron shooting
I've
threes.
been looking at some box scores with some 2-for-9s up there. I'm like, bruh, you might want to
That's what I'm
stop it.
saying. Like, I'm not a LeBron fan, so I've always wanted him. I'm like, shoot, brother, just keep shooting.
Yeah. Because I
You
said it to you,
stiff, man.
Jordan.
You stiff. Go ahead and shoot another three.
If Darvin Ham could tell LeBron, be a post player,
But
watch
that's
how much better they would be.
Darvin Ham can't
Never
tell
do
LeBron that. So that's the problem. He can't tell LeBron that.
Yeah.
We what, 15 minutes over?
I was about to say, yeah, we're getting towards the end of it. I was saying
Yeah.
if Brett had more nuggets he wanted to drop in the chat, but But yeah, another Cheap Seats podcast episode in the book. Another great episode with you guys. Really appreciate Brett in the chat, killing it. Always appreciate you as well as Anthony. Dante was in there a little bit earlier.
Freddie
had his troll moments at the start of the show. So, really appreciate that, and anybody else who tuned in. But make sure, hit the subscribe button for Sports Empire Network. Got a lot of things going on here, a lot of big things coming. You've already seen how the interviews going. Just a lot of great stuff. So hit the subscribe button, notification bell, all that, so you know when a live show happens on the network.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for myself, Brian, and Jordan, I guess we're out. Unless you guys have anything to say, any final thoughts?
No, it's a good show. Good Monday show. I know a lot of people hate Mondays. It's the first. Well, they said Sunday's the first work week of the week, but Monday's actually, where we have to get up and go to work and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, what a way to show back. Like I said, talk. Sports. Talk about things we all love and passionate about. So yeah, it was a good show, and we'll be back next Monday.
Yes, and hopefully full roster with Gene here next week. So definitely a full show.
I'm surprised we didn't see Gene in the comments. I don't know, maybe he's working. I'm pretty sure he's.
Yeah, I think he was traveling. So
yeah.
Man. We'll be back next week, hopefully. So but like Jordan said, next Monday, 7:00, we'll be back with another Cheap Seats podcast episode. And with that, we're out.